I don't know how we got into KYBER 3, honestly, folks, but don't worry. We'll take care of business. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today, we're going to talk about the 3v3 basic teams that I'm going to be running on my smallest account. I have 3 accounts, and somehow I got into KYBER 3 last season. Getting into KYBER was kind of an accident to begin with. I thought I'd be in Erodium for a few more seasons, including this one, but instead of, getting pushed back into Erodium, we instead got promoted. So we're in KYBER 3, and I don't know how we're gonna manage that. Let's talk about it though. Before we do that, just want to point out that we also have the 3v3 best defensive teams and offense teams videos you guys can go and watch. They're probably a little more advanced. The video you're watching now is a little bit longer form. Just talking about all the different teams I use on the smaller account. This one, the top ones that I just showed you, are going to show you a little bit more in depth on the offense and defense teams, but as you'll expect, we do this every month, so by now most of you probably know the drill, to be honest. A huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all your support. I truly appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much. Truly. It means the world to me. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, comment, mount the algorithm, folks. It's yours for the taking. I mean, part of it's yours. You can't have the whole thing. Sorry. Not really sorry, but, sorry. Kind of. Whoa! Sorry, we're in the game? Madness. I say sorry, so you make it up to me by placing me in the game? Oh, man. Okay, so tell you what, guys, why don't we actually, let me show you. So we're at 7.2 million now. I bought the Lightspeed bundles every time they've come around, and so we're at 7.23 million. That's, man, this account is really ballooned out, but why don't we real quick just look at what we've placed in GAC in the past, because I haven't played in KYBER yet on this account, so we have to add 2 new teams, and I think fleets are a really weak point. We're not going to really talk about fleets that much, but what I did in 5s, actually, I did add the extra teams. I placed some bad teams in the back, which we're definitely going to have some of that element here. And then I just kept 2 fleets here because I don't have good fleets, guys. I have Riva on my roster, but she's at like gear 7. Because I'm ignoring her until I can finish off my profundity requirements, because that is going to be incredibly important. So right now we've just got 2 decent fleets on defense, but I think that's just what we're going to keep it at, folks, for now, because I don't even have, if someone has Leviathan on defense, I don't even have something that can like multi-shot it. The Leviathan just beats us, and so we've gotta keep working. Gotta keep working, folks. I have a 5-star executor is the only thing I have, and so in 5s we put down all the squads. 3s I think we'll do the same. And what I'll show you guys what I was doing for defense last time. So in 5s you want to defend your back zone. Or sorry, in 3s you want to defend your back zone. It's worth more than your fleet zone, even with 3 fleets in the back. Let's see, I put that Darth Revan team down, and we'll go over the teams here in just a minute, folks. It's not essential that we plot and plan this out, but yeah, I put my GLs here, and I put like 4 pretty good teams here. I had good Datacrons for those UFUs and everything, so we'll see how that pans out. In the back, I think we put a fairly respectable, like the Geos aren't that good, but then we put kind of some decent relic teams in the back as well. That Fin Poe team actually did very well for us last time, though that was in Erodium way back in the day. And then up top, we also, I don't think I had Malakos yet. But yeah, see, we're putting down okay teams. I think we're gonna put a couple more garbage teams down, to be honest, folks. So let's get to the actual discussion of the teams, and we'll figure it out. We'll use the Force, and I don't even think that Karth team is on my list, because I mean, we'll probably just keep it on defense because we're lazy. But okay, what do we want to do here, folks? We've got the two GLs from the bundles that we've had, right? So Supreme Leader Kylo and Rey. Here's the thing, folks. I want to use Kylo Ren unmasked. You can kind of see him down here. Pay no attention to the man who was unmasked in the back there. I want to use him on that team, though. And so, Supreme Leader Kylo, I think... I don't know, we don't have a great Datacron for him yet, unless we put the... So, alright. Hold on, let me just... I'm sorry for all the deviations, guys. Like I said, this is a little bit longer form because I want to kind of encapsulate the whole picture of how to prep for things. And honestly, guys, I know that 7 million, it still isn't going to show the really smaller account, the way smaller accounts, how to play. I keep wondering, how can I make a 4th account? I don't think I can do 4 accounts. I'll have to stop one of my accounts, and I don't know. It seems like this one might be the one on the chopping block. I'm not sure. Let me know what your thoughts are in the description or in the comments. You don't have access to this description, I hope. Now, we have 2 Datacron sets, and folks, I know that some people, especially the people watching this video, perhaps, are not huge fans of... You're not big fans, like literal, like mechanical fans. I know that. I'm aware of that. Thank you. But I know you're not a huge fan of Datacrons. I get it. Here, just to appease you, let me just delete 2 of them. Just out of spite, alright? There you go. I hope that helps a little bit. But here's the thing. If you want to get into KYBER 3 at this level, if you want to punch above your weight, and I know not everyone wants to, but if you do want to, you're gonna need to use Datacrons to the best of your ability. That's just going to be the truth of it. And so what we've got here, folks, we've got a couple different options. First, we've got, for this purple set, we've got scoundrel stuff, basically, because none of the other factions matter for this. What we have are, we have permanent death from scoundrels, which is wonderful, in fact, because we have a lot of scoundrels worked on. And then, let's see, is this one of the... Yeah, okay, then we have the bonus turn on basic ability, where it resets your cooldowns right away. It really helps with Commander Ahsoka Tano, really helps with our Dash team, with our Han and Chewie, with like the Cara Dune team, if we want to use Cara Dune, we could use it with Beskar Mando. However, this next set, and look at this, I rolled a... Man, I rolled a few really good ones, folks. They're really rare. I've rolled better on this account by a significant margin than my main account, where I've spent money. I've done a ton of refreshes and rerolls. I have triple the mods. I've probably done about 6 times the number of rerolls, and I've gotten half of what this account has gotten. Just luck of the draw, but all the ones that are locked are either protection up or doubt crons on the level 3s, and that's going to make us very strong defensively. So this one, I don't have Dark Trooper Moff Gideon yet. I'll have him in a couple months, in which case I've started to farm my team for that. We'll see if we can get it ready in time. That'd be kind of fun. This is a really good Datacron. We don't have Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, but what we do have, we have Empire on a few different characters. Like the Starkiller team might really benefit from this. But then the other piece of it, folks, is we have this doubt that's inflicted on people. It's going to make this team a very strong, whoever I put this on, it'll make them very strong defensively. And I'm considering putting this on the Supreme Leader Kylo team. I'm not sure. Doubt kind of does a similar level of things that like Hux in combination with Supreme Leader Kylo does. So I'm not sure if we're going to do that, but that's going to be really strong. And then we do have the other ones that we have, the light side. We have 3 light side ones that are protection up, and they're all rare rolls. So yeah, I feel so bad for my main account. I just want to whine about it. Honestly, but we have 3 of those. One of them is going to be on Beskar Mando, and this one, the Beskar Mando cron is really good, folks, because it lets us delete characters. This is going to be more useful in 5v5, I think, but in threes, I think we can still do it. We just have to find the right team to get him stacks, because the only way this works well and in an overwhelming force is if he gets a crazy amount of whistling birds, in which case he just well, we can't. I even rolled the protection up on it, and I can't roll out of that because it's such a rare one. But on the other hand, it's not great because we would want to. There's a level 3 that would give us more stacks of whistling birds. So I don't. Well, we'll just have to navigate that. But one way or another, we've got a couple decent crons, and that's going to kind of dominate a lot of what we're doing, a lot of the teams that we're building, because we need teams that are fully relicked to be able to make that work. In the interim, if we want to have one really strong Empire team, then we could put. I mean, the Empire swap from offense to defense is. Or from defense to offense is really strong. We'll have to see if we want to do that or not. But one way or another, we do have those as an option. Now let's go to the actual teams here, folks. I'm sorry we took so long to get there. But the thing about the Supreme Leader Kylo team, I think part of the reason why I was able to get to KYBER 3 was every once in a while I'd run into an opponent who just couldn't beat my First Order because I had a really strong Datacron for him, and now that Datacron is dust, and we need to find a way to replace that in some way. And I don't really know. In 3v3, everyone's got way more Galactic Legends than I do. They just have a lot more, and that's just the fact of it. The question is, can we actually counter any of those Galactic Legends while keeping our own on defense? You guys saw that I had Kylo and Rey both on defense. Can we manage to do that again this season? I'm not really sure. KYBER 3 is going to have a lot of way bigger rosters than us. I'm almost thinking we just keep Kylo for offense, and then we put something like, I don't know if Starkiller is so good on offense to kill Galactic Legends too. Probably, so we'll probably put Rey on here, and we can put Cal with her. I don't have Ben, so we'll just put Jedi Training Rey and Cal here, and just have him hang out with Rey. I think that's probably going to be our best option. We'll give her one of those defense, or those protection up crons. Those going with Cal, who's also giving a lot of passive protection up, this is going to be a very difficult team for people to beat, even though we don't have Ben. Ben would be ideal. Then we could have Rey hanging out with droids or something, which isn't an ideal team, but it still does pretty well. It still does fine. Kylo, I think we'll probably end up keeping it for offense. The more I think about it, guys, I think we just use him to ramp his offense, I think he'll kill most Galactic Legends. I think we just gotta pull the trigger on that. So then we do have this Seer team. I don't think I've used Malicos in threes yet on this account. Though I do have him fully loaded. You guys can see we have what's this little dot on here? Because I've already applied. Oh, could we put Relic 9 on him? I'm not going to, but that is tempting. None of my other accounts have Relic 9 on him. That would be fun. I just don't see much point. There's other characters I'd rather have at Relic 9, frankly, including my Galactic Legends. So we're not going to do it. I was tempted there for a moment. Had a moment of weakness, folks. Hope you forgive me. But, okay, so we've got the Seer team, and if we're gonna put a really strong defense down, we could, I guess, put Malicos down. The thing is, he's gonna be able to take care of a few different Galactic Legends for us as well. Like some of the weaker Rey teams, he probably kills a few of the like Starkiller squads out there. He has a savior mechanic, so even when they finally do kill one of our characters, he'll keep them alive for one turn. Probably end up keeping it for offense. Though, it seems so weak. We need to have at least one more pretty strong team on defense. If we're going to keep Kylo for offense, we'll put Rey on defense, maybe the Malicos team. I think we probably can find something else. The CLS team, I'd really like this team for either offense or defense. The CLS squad, this will take down like a General Skywalker squad. It'll take down a lot of stuff. On defense, it can also, if someone doesn't know how this team works, it looks so innocuous. And in KYBER 3 and lower, people are going to see this team and not really understand how it works with all the turn meter gain and everything. And I think this team is going to be a little stronger. This is probably a good candidate to put one of my protection up crons on and just have them hang out in the zone. People throw what they think is a pretty standard counter at it, and probably this team will get us some holds. I think that's probably going to be one of our tricks this season, is we'll put protection up on them, just to see how they do, see how the boys do. Now, the question is, how do we get Beskar Mando to work well? And part of what I was thinking was we put him on Dash's team. Dash is faster, and I'm not going to remod him to be slower than Bando, even though that might be ideal in some circumstances. What I think I'm going to do is we'll just have Dash do a basic, or we'll do his stun/dispel move. And then what'll happen is Beskar Mando will go into his poop stance to start getting whistling birds, and then Dash will do his AoE. And that'll do 12 instances of damage it'll do 4 to each character that he hits. So yeah, 12. Vander will do another 2. It's not the worst. Hopefully, yeah, I mean, 14 stacks of Whistling Birds should do some good damage. Again, in 5s, we're going to be, this is devastating. It'll kill all the Lord Vader teams, some of the Jabba teams, depending on what Datacron they have, a few other Galactic Legends, like most other teams, honestly. It's very, very strong. The other thing that we could do, and probably the most likely use of it, because I just don't think in 3s that it's going to be practical for me to rely on Beskar Mando to be killing Galactic Legends for me. I think what I'll end up doing is just using Beskar Mando with Han and Chewie, because they're a good tandem anyways. They all 3 work really nicely. And if he goes into poop stance, immediately Chewbacca assists and does another 2 instances of damage. And then Han Solo will be able to go, and he can do his stun move, and Chewbacca will assist. So that'll be another, 3 instances of damage? Because remember, every time Chewbacca hits, he's doing an AoE, or sorry, he's doing percent health damage and normal damage, so that's 2 instances every time Chewbacca goes. And remember, he's assisting every time either one of these guys goes, because they have guard. So we'll have Han, he'll shoot first, Chewbacca will assist, that won't do anything. Then we'll go into Whistling Birds, the poop stance with Bando, and then Han will go again. He'll do a stun move with an assist from Chewie, so that'll be another. So we'll be up to 5, because Chewie will have assisted on the poop stance as well. So 5. And then Han will do another basic, followed by an assist from Chewie and another basic. So that's another 4 instances of damage. So we're up to 5? And then Chewie can do his AoE. And if it's in 3s, it'll hit 3 different characters doing 6 instances of damage. So it's not bad. Double digits. So if we kind of work it out that way. If everything goes perfectly, of course, but if we can get to that point, Bando will start being able to do some serious damage, and I think that'll probably, because I don't have a great assignment for the lead for Han Solo and Chewbacca, anyways. So I think we'll do that. We'll see how high we can end up punching with this team, and that will leave me with Dash and Chewie to go with. Nest can go with there. We could also put Commander Ahsoka Tano there, depending on who we're facing, what kind of challenge we're facing. Kat is really great in 5s. She kills a lot of Galactic Legends. In 3s, they do okay. She does fine. It's a little awkward, though, because there's just not as good of a vehicle to deliver the kind of payload she can deliver. So, you kill like Jedi Master Luke sometimes. It works out. Nest is nice to go with. Dash. In 3s, of course, Nest might be asked to just go solo a team. We'll have to see. At Relic 4, she's not really going to be a world beater. Okay, so we have the Starkiller team here, folks. And if you hear my breathing is heavy, just realize I'm asthmatic. I'm struggling just a little bit tonight. So I hope you have a little patience with me there. But we have Yeah, so the Starkiller team, this will kill Rey teams, this will kill Supreme Leader Kylo squads, Jedi Master Luke, even say the Eternal Emperor squads. This team does a lot of good damage. I should probably put more relics on Starkiller, but who has the time or relics to put put them on anyone? I just don't have. We don't have the supplies, folks. But this team should probably be on offense. I think. So if I can roll another Datacron, maybe this will just be the squad that we put on defense that has doubt. We'll do it with Darth. We'll have Darth Revan, Bastian, Malak, and I don't know. Most of the teams that counter this don't really rely on a lot of turn meters. So I don't know if doubt or buffs for that matter. I don't know if doubt is going to be wasted on this squad or not. This team will almost certainly be on defense. However, even though it does counter a few nice things, I think overall in threes this team can be a real bastard to beat, and I think it's probably worthwhile. I don't have Malgus, so this might be a good amalgamation of characters. I don't really have a compelling use for Malak unless we put him on this Darth Vader team. Though I think a lot of people struggle if we put Sith Empire Trooper here because. So Vader's gonna get what? He gets 16 speed from himself because he's Empire and Sith, and then he'll get 8 from Sith Empire Trooper, another 8 from Darth Talon, so he'll get 32 plus Darth Talon will give him another 20. So like 52 speed for Darth Vader. It's just, I mean, it's not crazy amount, and I don't even have mods to really. So, but he'll be over 300. I guess that's alright. This team will mess with people, folks, honestly, because Talon will be hiding. Sith Empire Trooper will just be. He'll be hanging out, hoping that no one can dispel him, and then Vader will just be doing his Force Crush all the time. This might be a good team to put the doubt on, in fact. Maybe we do that. The Darth Revan team can kind of speak for itself. Maybe we put the doubt on the Darth Vader team. We definitely want to put it in the back zone, just because people are going to fail on teams in the front, potentially. And if they do, then we want them to trip up on this squad. If they're like, oh, man, I had a perfect counter to this squad. But they didn't actually. We already used it up front. And so now I don't have anything good. That happens more than you might think. This isn't a world-beating team. In KYBER 3, I do expect to lose more than I win. Honestly, with this size of an account, I don't belong in KYBER 3, I don't think. Not yet, but one way or another, this team will get a few holds, I bet, this season. I wouldn't be too surprised. Now, the Traya squad probably keep it for offense. We have the Omicron on it. Everyone's relicked except, of course, for Mr. Thrawn here, though he's coming along. A couple seasons ago, he's only gear 8. So we've been incrementally gearing him. It's kind of a bummer. He's one of those older characters. It's like, man, I wish he was really fast, but I just don't have the mods on this account to give him much more speed than he's got. I mean, one way we could get him faster, I guess. We get him another, 20 speed, as if we put all of these mods on here. I don't know if it's worth it, but against like a Padme squad, he can be very useful. You'd swap him and Darth Sion out. Just keep in mind, if you swap Thrawn out for Sion, or vice versa, then you're not going to be able to put a Datacron on if you're me. Remember, self, that you can't do that. So it's kind of nice. Otherwise, Thrawn doesn't really have an assignment at this lower gear level. He's kind of just a utility piece, and that sometimes you just need it. Traya will take out. Yeah, I expect I'll still see quite a few Padme squads. We could probably win a mirror if someone was dumb enough not to have the Omicron on Traya. We might even, I don't know, might even be able to. Oh man, I don't know. So people are gonna start having Savage, and I need to get a relic Savage and put an Omicron on him. That seems fairly important. That hasn't been super high on my priority list. I'm really trying to get that Akbar team, or that Adrad team going, so that I can unlock Profundity. But If we can get Savage, that'll be great for the team. This might win a mirror match, though. This will also probably beat most Commander Luke teams that we run into. There's just a lot of cool stuff that you can really put the clamps down and make it so that they can't do a lot of damage while your Nihilist slowly force drains them into oblivion. So the Traya squad probably just stays on offense. Otherwise, on defense, it gets beat by quite a bit, especially if you don't have Savage, which we do not. Let's see, Wampa. He womps, guys. The thing I like about him is he's kind of my security blanket. He's my safety net where if I have to kill a Sith Eternal Emperor and I don't have a way to kill him with one shot, I've used all my good teams, I could conceivably kill the ads, so it's just Sith Eternal Emperor, and then throw my Wampa in to fight him. Depending on what kind of Datacron that Sith Eternal Emperor may or may not have. Wampa I usually kill him, though. One-on-one, he does a good job. Sith Lord Schmith Schmord. Right? Am I right, Wampa? You don't have to answer that. He's a good lad. So I do have a Relic Dark Trooper now, and just keep in mind, folks, if you're trying to counter teams that have that level 3 with Doubt, this team is going to get shut down pretty hard because it relies so much on turn meter gain. And Doubt just blocks turn meter gain and buffs that you gain. Like, basically everything good in this world. So, and we don't even have a Datacron for this squad because Veers is only gear 11. He was gear 9 like a couple hours ago. I threw Relic 11. I threw gear 11 on him just to show him. But yeah, I've been slow gearing him. I mean, he's a requirement character. We may as well. Plus, I would like to be able to put relics, or rather Datacrons, on this team at some point to be able to help support the cause. So, bounty hunters, I don't really have any high aspirations for them. One thing that we could do, I suppose, and I don't have her pictured here. I have a Relic 3 Fennec. If we really needed to, well, we'd probably need Bando as well. We could run a Fennec lead Grief Bando team to take out Lord Vader, in theory. That might work. Lord Vader's got everyone I face. Oh, I don't know. In KYBER 3, there's really not a ton of Datacron use. So we might be able to run into people who have Lord Vader that doesn't have a good Empire Cron, but Lord Vader's going to be really tough. He's going to be a tough out. And so, in general, we'll probably leave that squad to our stronger teams. That's probably something that I'll leave to Supreme Leader Kylo, to be honest. Otherwise, this team, I really like the Bosk Grief Mando team. It's probably, well, it's one of my favorites. One of my old favorites was Bosk, Jango, and Boba, because Jango and Boba could both ignore Taunt, because their Bounty Hunters resolve. They could do, ability block. They could set people on fire. They could, if they died, they'd come back for a little bit, at least, until they got killed again. They do a good damage. It was a really good tandem. Bosk, Grief, Mando, you have mass assists. You have a Dispel with Grief. You have offense up from Bosk. You have another call to assist from Mando, so you've got 3 different assists. And then you've got a Disintegrate with Mando. This team's pretty strong. We could use a Scoundrel Cron with them to be able to get a double Disintegrate from Mando, potentially. And that's why having a squad with relics on it is really nice, just because you're able to use Datacrons. So if we use this team, then that kind of preserves the other characters to be able to do other things. So we have the GL Newt team, and I actually put a couple gear levels on him recently as well. So now he's gear 11. Isn't he fancy? He'll still die instantaneously when anyone looks at him, and he'll tell people, he'll be like, "Man, they shot my nose off." It's a terrible, cruel lie that he'll perpetrate. But you can't really expect anything else from these Trade Federation types. So this team will kill. If you've seen the Qui-Gon team with the Omicron and Anakin and sometimes Ki-Adi-Mundi, this is the squad that usually is able to beat it. And so keeping it for offense is pretty nice. On defense, man, this used to be a win printing team in 3s. It used to be really strong. People just didn't expect how resilient it would be. Eventually, I was able to solve it using like Mon Mothma and some pretty cheap characters, so it didn't hold up all the way. But for a long time, this was the pinnacle, man. It was so good on defense. Probably not put it on defense these days, folks. You could. I think a lot of people, I think the word's out. I think this team, just doesn't do that well on defense anymore. Now, the Grievous squad, I've said it before. I've said it many, many times. Grievous is really fun in 5s and very disappointing in 3s. He can't really do, he just doesn't do as much. He needs a whole team. He's one of those characters that's like, in 3s he's not great. If we had 4v4, which I'm not saying we should, he'd do a little bit better. In 5s, that's kind of, obviously that's the best, but if you could get him to 6, if we could go 6v6, even 7v7, the more characters that are on his team, the more he ramps up and does crazy stuff. And so in 3s, he's just not that good. So I'll still put him on defense, because he'll steal some banners at least, especially in KYBER 3 and lower. I think we'll steal some banners. And he doesn't, there's not, the funny thing about Grievous is, there's not a team out there that he really considers, that we consider as like, oh yeah, that's his target team. He just doesn't do that well. He doesn't do enough to warrant, like, we may as well just throw him on defense and forget about him. I just put relics on Super Battle Droid, which is exciting. This team is so good in the early game, and then it just slowly kind of peters out just a little bit. Though even in KYBER 3, I mean, in 5s, he'll still kill a few different galactic legends. Now, all right, what do we want to do with Padme then? Remember, I don't have General Kenobi, or sorry, Jedi Master Kenobi, so we're kind of just questioning our existence here a little bit. So we could do the Gidme team. Shaak Ti doesn't have relics yet. Neither does Gideon. But, I mean, in 3s, this team probably still punches way up. Ironically, I think my Padme is a little bit faster than Moff Gideon. I mean, she is relict, and I think I put some pretty good mods on her. Yeah, he's 305. What's Padme at? She's like a 339? Jeez, man. Yeah, she's quick. She's a quick person. So yeah, we'll be able to, this is all formed around the abuse of the courage mechanic and being able to give stacks of protection up to all of the characters who are support, and then Galactic Republic support, or anyone, Galactic Republic are able to turn those stacks of protection up into courage, which they then use to pummel their foes with. Which is great. This squad can work. This Padme team is, they used to actually be pretty good on defense, in fact. So you could do that. I think it's fairly easily beat. I did get relics on Mace recently as well. I must be fancy. I've been relicking a lot of things lately, but either of these squads, I think we just keep it for offense and see what we need. Honestly, I don't really think either of these teams are going to accomplish much on defense, and they could actually accomplish quite a bit on offense. Mace is a really strong character, man. I can't wait to be able to put his 3rd Zeta on. He's a party animal, is what he is. He's like, people call him Tusken. They're like, man, you're like an animal. He's like, don't call me that. There are too many damn Tuskens on this plane, or something. He's not very nice. So, the question is, what do I do with Cat? I don't really have anything to do with Queel or IG either. So probably what I'll end up doing is just using IG and Queel with one of those Datacrons that let you get 100% turn meter and reset your cooldowns, so then she can instantly one-shot someone. And we'll just use these two as kind of bait. Queel will boost her offense. She'll boost his offense, in fact. IG will taunt for both of them, and it'll be great. It'll be a good little synergistic team, but we can also just collapse that team at any point and throw Cat with Padme, throw Cat with, who else? No one else. Throw her with Traya for no reason at all. Throw her with Dash. Throw her with, I mean, Han and Chewie would honestly be fine with it. Yeah, there's a few. We could even throw her with Seer, honestly, or we could put her with Rey. That might be the solution we're looking for here, folks. But the question is, what's Kat's main priority? This probably, I wonder if this works as like a Malgus killer. Honestly, it might. I'll have to give it some more thought. But as long as she can take back-to-back turns, so she doesn't have shock on her, because it's a turn meter based thing, that might work. We'll have to look into that. So all of these, I like to keep the Jedi on offense because then we can kind of be flexible with the team. I don't have Jedi Cal yet. I do have those requirements ready, but I don't have Jedi Cal yet. So whenever that event comes back, that'll be super hype, super exciting for this account, and it'll revolutionize the use of my Jedi. However, we also don't have Jedi Luke on this account, and so my Jedi are fairly pathetic, if we're being honest. And so keeping Jedi for offense is going to be a little bit helpful. Being able to counter quite a few things and mix and match the teams as needed. Now, one of the things I forgot to tell you at the start, but I'll tell you now, is I would recommend, and this sounds like, I mean, it is self-serving to some degree, but it's also, if you want to see these teams in action, you can go watch all of the video replays for like the past 2 months of my live streams on my Twitch channel. You can find the link to that in the video description, and you can see how I'm actually using some of these teams. Like, obviously this video can't show you how to use all of these teams super effectively, or even tell you all the different counters that we use with them. But what we can do, you can go and see how I'm using some of these teams. So go check it out, guys. Come hang out with us on Twitch. It's a fun time to all hang out and just kick back, do 3 GACs, you know, late into the night. And you can watch the replays. It's all free. It's fun. So, let's see. We have, so Jedi Revan with Grandmaster Yoda, Jolie, maybe Basti. He goes so well with Basti. It's tough to, eventually I'll trick myself into putting some relics on her. But for now, she's fine at gear 12. And, I mean, Grandmaster Yoda's relic 1, Revan's relic 1. Jolie's like, I'm tough. I'm a relic 5. It sounds like that. I'm sure you guys haven't played the video game, so I can make up whatever I want. I mean, I can faithfully recount whatever I want. So, but I mean, this team could be supplemented with, you know, Shock T could be on the team if we want a bunch of portable offense up. We could put Mace on the team. Mace is actually a really great option to go with Jedi Revan to be able to counter Zori teams. Even Cat could go on the team. So even Snips could go on the team. Lots of Jedi could go there. Kyle Katarn, we haven't seen him yet, but I do have him Relic 5, etc. So now we have the Phoenix squad. I don't have good enough clones to really justify putting Captain Rex, even though he's only gear 11. He does have his Omicron. He has the Zeta that matters. I think this is the best team for him. I would love to put a Zeta on Kanan, but I don't have a Zeta to apply. So, you know, we're just not going to. All right. Gosh, we're kind of close. I don't think we can do it before lock, but that was a nice thought. So, yeah, this team is probably a defensive team. People will probably just try to kill Captain Rex right away, and at gear 11, he probably just lets them. He's probably just like, hey, I could be a Force Ghost. And then when he dies, the people who are Force Ghosts will be like, oh, that's not how the Force works, bro. You're just one with the Force, so get over there. Get in there, you big coward. I don't care what you smell. The Force kind of stinks, is what I've heard. It's an unsubstantiated rumor. So we're getting into the place on the roster, folks, where it's like, all right, none of these teams have dedicated counters or have anything that it's like, hey, we can, I guess a couple of them, but we're just showing some of the dregs so that you can see, okay, a lot of these are just going to go on, stay on offense and just have the characters stay there for flexibility reasons. And you know, Boba would be great on a Han and Chewie team if we need Beskar Mando somewhere else. Fennec, like I've talked about before, could be part of a Lord Vader countering team to be able to kick Lord Vader in his lava nuts, and you know, his trusty pal Maul and his robo nuts. So lots of good use for Fennec. Otherwise, you probably don't. This is a common misconception, folks, and I'm gonna be as kind as I can when correcting you here and saying Fennec lead is not a good lead unless it's countering Lord Vader or another really strongly, heavily debuff, like oppressively strong debuff team, because otherwise you're never going to get your contract, and the contract is everything for a Fennec squad. And so you probably just want to use Boba lead because you get all the benefits from stuff. Depending, just use your brain, determine if you're going to get your contract right away because of reasons, because of Fennec or not. And this team, I wouldn't put it on defense, frankly. I think it just gets destroyed, but it probably kills something on offense sometimes, or you can just use the pieces on something else. General Skywalker, he's gear 12. I've been putting a couple pieces on him. The other clones, I have a couple pieces collectively. This is not a great squad. I don't even have Zetas on Rex, or I'm missing one on Skywalker. This will go on defense, and we have to hope that our opponent is pretty dumb and just uses the wrong, like a bad squad on him. It does happen, especially in threes. People get weird about General Skywalker. They'll also potentially use a way too strong team and they'll overkill it, which is also to our benefit, usually, unless they have a ton of overkill squads, in which case, it just depends. I mean, our 7.2 isn't going to save us from much in these shark-infested waters. Now, Night Sisters are another team. It's like, hey, they actually could counter something. They'll kill, like, Grievous squads. They'll kill a few things. The thing to keep in mind, folks, what I've received advice before of, hey, put Talzin with Marin and Zombie down, and that's all you need, because Zombie's gonna save him a couple times, you know, like, it'll be good. The problem is, my Zombie's gear 10, and the whole team will just die instantly, because I don't have the bulk to actually stick around for anything. So using Zombie here is just kind of the first AoE just wipes out the whole team, and then I'd lose. So Old Daka is here by necessity, just to keep everything, like, these two will just die instantly. Old Daka will just be like, it's like a fishing trip, should be constantly reeling them back in, keeping them from becoming one with the Force, in fact. And she's like, man, you guys are gonna have to take showers after this, because as I was saying, the Force doesn't smell the greatest, you know? But this'll kill a couple things. If you're desperate, it could kill like a CLS or like a Han and Chewie team, because as long as you can keep reviving your people with Old Daka, then you should, in theory, as long as they don't have a permanent death mechanic available, this team can clean up quite a bit of stuff, and even just straight up kill it. Like a Han Chewie team, a lot of times, like someone will put them with like Lando or something weird like that on defense, and it's like, well, as long as if they're not able to kill Old Daka, then we're just good to go. We'll eventually wear them down. So yeah, Night Sisters, one of those great fundamental squads, always very awkward to use in threes, however, because you just don't know. You don't know how fast you're going to get mowed down. The Qui-Gon team, I mean, we could put, I guess we could put like Shaak Ti on the squad if we wanted to. I don't have Ki-Adi-Mundi. He's not even halfway to being unlocked. I've been telling people I'm over 40 shards. That's a bold-faced lie, accidentally, because, man, it's almost embarrassing. But yeah, I never got him farmed, and I don't want to spend GT3 on him. So I'm just fingers crossed, hoping Ki-Adi-Mundi won't be part of the requirements for whatever is coming, you know, as an unlock. But one way or another, Kenobi's actually a really strong choice here. Mace might work here. Shaak Ti's nice because she hands out offense up. You just need Anakin. Probably want to get him to higher relics. Gosh, what am I thinking, man? I keep him on offense, though. So you pick your targets. Sometimes they don't even kill anything. Sometimes, I mean, Anakin does some pretty nasty hits. Basically, I'm running the team the way I always tell people they shouldn't be. Like, you should get a relic Qui-Gon Jinn with a bunch of offense so that when he dies, he hands it off to Anakin. And then you want Ki-Adi-Mundi to give extra damage to Anakin, and you want Anakin to have more relics than just 3 so that his ship is also pretty good, but none of that, guys. I'm just not following my own advice, and I expect you to keep your mouths shut about it. You don't know what it's like to be like me. So keep your... No, that's a quote from a song. I'll probably get reprimanded by YouTube. And actually, that's not a thing that happens unless I play the actual song for you. But, alright, Fin Poe. I don't even have any Zetas on the team. You don't necessarily need them. If you can make Resistance Hero Finn fast, which mine is not fast, I don't think. Let's see. Oh, that's a little faster than I thought. 280. That's not too bad. Is there a way we could we just roll the dice real quick? Live? Well, semi-live? Defense? Okay, let's try it one more time. Health? That is messed up, man. You betrayed me. You have no honor. Oh, look at this. 5 speed? Man, that is ripping fast. Is that even a thing people say? They're like, man, that thing is ripping fast. And not just like pants that on someone who's getting too fat. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, those pants are ripping fast, man. We're in the danger zone. So, yeah, this team goes on defense. People, honestly, there was one match where the person one-shot all of my GLs, all of my teams, and then got stuck on this, because if you don't have a team that can deal with this team, like, they take so many turns, even without their Zetas. They're just kind of... I've won a ton of matches, actually, with this exact squad, just way in the past. Yeah, Zori would be better here, by the way. If you have a Relic Zori, or even like a Gear 12, even probably like a Gear 11 for a lot of different people. If you can get Zori, 3 stars, Gear 11, here instead of Poe, with her Zetas and her Omicron, this team does a lot of damage. But most people, probably even at this level, shouldn't even... I don't even think I have Zori unlocked. You probably don't have her available. So Fin Poe, it still suffices if you have the Resistance Hero Bros, at least. Now, we have a Pets team. I'll probably just keep it on defense, honestly, guys. Is it the best Pets team? No. I don't really have relics that much. That's fine. I don't know. We'll put them on defense. People don't know how to... What people don't realize is how hard Zalbar hits. It would be really nice to actually get him like a few relic levels. But as I've said a billion million times in this video, we just don't really have the resources. So we'll have to just make good with the idea that Veteran Smuggler Chewie is our best Wookiee, which is really sad state of affairs. Here's another Pets team with Ewoks. Honestly, like I showed you with the map before, this team has a pretty, if it's not already on defense, it has a pretty high likelihood of just getting stuck on defense. If you have a relic or higher gear, at least Nisa, I would advise her instead of Wicket. Wicket is just... I mean, my Nisa doesn't have 7 stars, and she's only like Gear 8. So a Gear 12 Wicket with 7 stars, probably preferable to her. But once she gets kind of close to where Wicket's at right here, you want to make the swap. You want Chirpa, you want a fast Peplu, which I've consistently made him slower and slower. But you want a fast Peplu, yeah, he's not that fast. And then you want, ideally you want Nisa as the third. Whether or not that's going to work out is another question. Now, I do have a Relic Omicron Akbar. He used to be Gear 8, but then I bought a Hyperdrive bundle that got him to 3. Princess Leia, I don't have the Omicron on her. I'm like, man, should I consider it? I want to see how Fulcrum does with them, though. Because she steals all their buffs, and they get a lot of buffs under Akbar, Omicron, and then Princess Leia just gets to do a lot of cool stuff, too. And oh, I should actually put mods on her though. And then Fulcrum. So Princess Leia is going to be generating a ton of buffs, and then Fulcrum can grab those buffs and go destroy someone. Otherwise, if you have a Relic Stormtrooper Han, which I don't know why you would, unless you're eccentric like I am. I'm not even that eccentric though. He's not Relic on this account. Then Fulcrum makes a decent amount of sense, especially if you have a Relic Fulcrum and she's able to, you're able to like free her from, like, if you have a Seer team with Cal, a lot of times she wants to go with them, but in this case we're using Seer with Malicos. Malicos is taking that damage slot, so Fulcrum can kind of just hang out wherever. I'm very intrigued to see how this team ends up doing on offense. I'll try to do my due diligence and get some decent modding on them and everything too. Oh man, that might might be more difficult than I had anticipated. Let's see. Yeah, this one doesn't have the most potential. Oh, we don't even. Gosh, why are you so bad at things? Okay, that's fine. She does more damage now. Good for you, Fulcrum. Well done. Well done. That's a cool detail. Oh, maybe they didn't. One of the sabers is supposed to be shorter than the other. You can't really tell from here. So let's move along. Yeah, I'm excited to see this team. Come watch me play this one at least, guys. I'm fairly intrigued by it. It might be even unfairly intrigued. We'll have to see. I'm probably gonna try to play it on all 3 accounts because inexplicably I have the Akbar Omicron that I don't recommend for anyone to get. Like, legitimately think it's not a good move. But I just have it on all 3 accounts. So, and I don't have a place to use Fulcrum, so we'll see if we can find a use for him on the other accounts. Let's see, so we have some leftover Jedi. This team isn't going to kill anything. It's got 1 lead. Hermiota can give Foresight. Kyle Katarn can throw his saber 1 time, and then everyone dies, collapses. But we could throw them on other teams, kind of just displaying, hey guys, look, here's a team, or here's some characters that could plausibly be used elsewhere. We're just not going to use them that much. Geos, I think they're on defense for me. I've been putting gear on them lately, just a little bit here and there, just a snack. Are you really only gear 10? Man, oh, it's because you need, man. Spy is such a helpful ship. I don't want to use those gold balls. Damn it all. Okay, well, this is what it's like to slowly lose your mind, folks. But there we go. Gear 11 Spy. You guys saw it here first or something. I technically saw it first. Okay, so all the way to Cara Dune. She goes well with Saw, actually. Saw needs Rebel fighters to go on his team. And I don't have the Zetas or the Omicron to give to him. I don't have a Zeta to give to Cara. But Lando is a joke here. I mean, he is a Rebel fighter. I'm guessing we just kind of ran out of Rebel fighters that had relics. Yeah, I mean, we could just put Gear 7 Baze. He's probably more helpful than Lando, to be honest. But then we can't have an Omicron. And I do have a decent Cara Dune Omicron right now from set 12. Maybe we do, or sorry, Datacron. Maybe we could do that. The problem is I don't have a Relic Saw, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime too soon. So this team could be good. I guess the one thing I will point out, folks, if you are working on a Relic 7 Saw for Rise of the Empire territory battles, then you should probably, honestly, like, look into putting some Zetas on him. He's fairly strong. He's not just good in that one mission. He, in fact, he's very strong here. He's a much stronger character than any of us gave him credit for initially. So we'll see how that goes. You can see my status here with Admiral Radis. We have no Zetas. We have no, the one here is because I could put an Omicron on him, which it will eventually. It's a good Omicron. I need to put relics on him, but one way or another, this team probably just sits on the bench, frankly. I need a Zeta for Jin. Cassian would be good. It probably doesn't go on defense either. I mean, at Gear 12, at Relic 9, this team is still not, like, the very best on defense. It does fine, but Yeah, it probably just sits on the bench. If you have a more developed Radis, though, you could run this team on offense. It kills a lot of the stuff that's prevalent today, like the Iden squads, the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. You got to be cautious. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon might just kill Radis at this point because of the Datacron stuff, but one way or another, there is actually a Kron for Jyn as well. She ramps her damage pretty nicely. If you put this squad on defense, please put a tank here instead of Cassian Andor. Cassian Andor, he puts the revolving door in Andor. He just lets anyone shoot whoever they want if they're on defense, and which usually results in bounty hunters getting their contract really fast, and then they can just snipe out Radis. There's other teams that you want a tank here for if it's on defense. Let's see. Oh, final team. All right, so Biggs actually has a close to perfect loop turn meter gain Kron, if that's what you're into. I don't think do I have that one? Let's see, not yet. I guess maybe that's what I should try for next, actually. Oh, we got the BAM one. That's fairly important. Something with Rebel fighters, though, folks. Right? Am I right? So if you can get that Kron, probably goes well with. Wow, there's a lot of teams here, guys. Probably goes well with Mon Mothma. My Mon Mothma is horrible, and she's part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away. And they can, because she doesn't even have her Zeta that says that they can't take her away. Oh, jeez. I need to go to bed, folks. I'm getting tired. I'm knocking over water bottles. I am a disaster. But what we should take away from this is, if you have a good Mon Mothma, if you have been working on your profundity requirements, then Mon Mothma is part of, like, she'll be relict, and she could pilot the Biggs and Wedge team. I should probably focus on her pretty hard this season. She's probably not going to be that great for me in 3s, but in 5s, this team gets endless turn meter looped with the Biggs Kron, so I'll have to put relics on him. Gosh, where am I going to find all the relics? No one knows. It's been my constant observation and complaint this entire video, which is an hour now. Jeez, guys. So that's it. It's over. These are teams that, so some of them are just not that good. I still have a decent amount that are relict here that we could use when in desperate straits, but who really knows? I mean, there are a lot of just fluff teams. I guess, like the Phasma squad has a little bit of value. We could probably do something with that. But one way or another, that's kind of just approximately how I'm going to try to survive in KYBER 3. My guess is that we get pushed back and out into KYBER 4. And then maybe, if I can just win a few of them, I should be able to stay in KYBER at least. And then maybe I'll have a stronger 5v5. And we'll get back into KYBER 3 again. It'll just be this repeating cycle. Revolving door between KYBER 3 and 4. Which even rhymes. Do you want more? If you want more, remember to hit that thumbs up button and ding that bell to receive notifications, folks. Alright, let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.